Often the pilgrim on the eternal road, lit from the clouds by the pale moon of mind. Well, he is going by the light of the mind. Moon, what is moon? Moon doesn't have its own light, it is reflected light of the sun. So also mind. Mind doesn't have its own light, it is the reflected light of a higher illumination. Therefore, pale moon of mind, lit from clouds by the pale moon of mind, or in devious byways wandering alone, or lost in deserts where no path is seen, was overpowered by her lion lame, a conquered captive under her dreadful paw, her, that energy, or lost in the desert, or in devious ways, wandering alone, wandering alone. That is the story of Odysseus. How he wandered from place to place through devious ways completely. Or lost in deserts where no path is seen. Well, obviously in desert there are no paths. No path is seen. Was overpowered by her lion leap. So this is the image of Sphinx. Sphinx to the desert. Sphinx to the desert. You see. Paws are there. Conquered captive under her dreadful paws. So if the passerby goes through her, then she will conquer him. And it was Odysseus, it was only Oedipus who mastered her completely. Was overpowered by her lion leap. So she is the person with a lion head. And you see, conquered captive, lion body and man's head, you see. A conquered captive under a dreadful palm, intoxicated by a burning breath. Burning breath is intoxicating, you see. Intoxicated by a burning breath, and amorous groan of a destroying mouth. Once a companion of the sacred fire, the mortal perishes to God and light. Mortal who is once the companion of the sacred fire, who is offering worship to Agni, it is that mortal perishes to God and light because of that dark energy. See, although you may do yajna and all that kind of a thing, still there is a danger. Intoxicated by the burning breath and amorous groan of a destroying mouth. Now there is a little problem here. This word groan, and amorous groan of a destroying mouth. Groan. In the revised edition, in fact, in the 1950 edition, after the 1950, second edition, third edition, fourth edition of Savitri has grown, grown, not groan. It is grown, grown. As amorous groan of a destroying mouth. It has grown because amorous groan. See. Now I don't know. See, groan and groan, they are in terms of utterance the same word. You can't make a distinction. If it is a dictated line, and if Shivandu says groan, there is no way of saying it is grown or grown. See. So I asked Nirodharan once, what do you think of this one? How can it be? He says, I don't remember now. I don't, I don't remember. Yeah, see, I asked him that question. I don't remember now. See. So now this is left up to us whether you have to use groan, grown, grown. Homophonic. These words are homophonic. Grown and grown are homophonic. Same sound, homophonic. And amorous groan of a destroying mouth. I would say groan is better than grown. Amorous groan of a destroying mouth. Because the destroying mouth have become grown. once a companion of sacred fire, companion of sacred, the worshippers of fire worshippers, you see. The mortal perishes to God and light, and adversary governs heart and brain, a nature hostile to the mother fold, hostile to the nature. Now this is the equivalent of that energy, nature. Mother force, consciousness force we have seen, the mighty mother, you see. The nature hostile to the mother fold. The self of life is of its instrument. The self of life who had come here, she is of its instrument to tighten and demoniac agency that aggrandize earth, nature, and this frame. So she lends her instruments to these people, to these titans and demons, titans and giants, and well, we have got demons, then we have got giants, and then you got titans in the hierarchy. Pishacha, Rakshasa, Asura. Pishacha, demon. Rakshasa, giants. Asuras, titans. To titan and demoniac agency that aggrandize earth, nature, and display. A cow with columnists is now thought's guide. My God. Now this is the Second World War image. Fifth columnist. Fifth columnist. See, you are marching on the enemy country. And the leader of this army who is marching on the enemy country, he says that I got the fifth column in my enemy's house. People who are opposing their own nation, their own country, they are the fifth columnists who will combine with these people. So the army is marching and the leader of the army says, I got the fifth columnist in my enemy's country. I mean, they are going to help me. So he is marching with 4 columns. On the battlefield, marching with 4 columns. And then he says, I got the 5th column also present there, working from within the enemy country itself. Well, I got a little reference here. 5th columnist. A group within a country at war who are sympathetic to working for its enemies. Was sympathetic for working to its enemies. See, in India, we have 5th columnists. We have 5th columnists in India who are working for our enemy. In that sense, it's like that. A group of them. The term dates from Spanish Civil War. 5th columnist dates from Spanish Civil War, 1936-1939, just before the World War II. When General Mola, leading for columns of troops towards Madrid, Mola was leading columns of troops to Madrid, declared that he had a 5th column inside the city, inside Madrid. Inside Madrid, he already had the 5th column present there. He was leading 4 columns. And then he got Quisling, the Norwegian Quisling, a collaborator or traitor, Quisling, Norway, collaborator or traitor, a person who betrays his or her own country by aiding an invading army. That is the Quisling. 5th columnist, that's what they are doing here, you see, 5th columnist. So that is the historical background. She is going to see this word, 5th columnist, 1936-39. It is about that time she was writing Savitri also. In fact, this canto was around 1943-44, like that, you see. So it was quite kind of fresh in his, you see, how the Spanish War was done and how General Mola declared that I got a 5th column in Madrid already present. It is that reference already here. So historically, it is quite an echo of that event, you see. A cow with 5th column is now thought's guide. A subtle defeatist murmur slays the pain, and lost in the breast or whispering from outside Either it is large embrace or whispering from outside, a lying inspiration fell down. A new order substitutes for the divine. That is what they are doing. New order substitutes for the divine. Lying inspiration, well, you keep on shouting lies, falsehood. It becomes truth for people. If you are constantly hammering falsehood, it becomes truth for them, you see. Lying inspiration fell and died. A new order substitutes for the divine. This is what Hitler did, and his people, propaganda people, used that tactic in the World War II. A silence falls upon the spirit's side as a result of all that thing. A silence falls upon the spirit's side from the veiled sanctuary. The God retires. Poor God, you see. He is helpless, you see. Sanctuary, the God retire. Empty and cold, the chamber of the bride. The golden nimbus now is seen no more. No longer burn the white spiritual ray. Well, we had earlier the limpid pallid ray, and that, but now no, it's not there at all. And hush forever is a secret voice. Empty and cold is the chamber, empty, rocky, and cold I am, is the chain and abyss. Spirit, I am. Empty, rocky, second is I am, third foot is anapace, fourth foot is Pirik, fifth foot is I am again. Empty and cold, the chamber, empty and cold is the chamber of the bride. The bride is not there at all. The church is there, but the Lord of the church is not there, and therefore the chamber is empty. Bride here stands for the bride of Christ. It is the Christian image, completely Christian image. Empty and cold, the chamber of the bride. The room in which the marriage ceremonies are done, that is the chamber. Matthew 9:15, Mark 2:19, Luke 5:34, and again Matthew from the Testament 22:10. How can the guest of the bridegroom mourn while he is with him? When he is there, how can they mourn? The guest, you see. How can the guest of the bridegroom mourn while he is with them? Bridegroom? Christ, of course, here. When he is there, how can people mourn? The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them. I am reading Matthew 9:15. The time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them. The church will be empty of the bridegroom, of Christ will not be there. Then they will fast. There will be no feast at all, because the feast is there only when the bride and bridegroom are present. But when he is not there, there is no fast. Then they will fast. The sons of the bride chamber are the disciples of Christ. The sons of the bride chamber who are there, they are the disciples of Christ. New city, New Jerusalem, prepared as a bride, adorned for her husband. That is the Christian image. New city, New Jerusalem, is being prepared as a bride, adored for her husband. It will come here. Then you can have joy, festivities, feast, you see. New city, Jerusalem. The marriage of the Lamb has come. Lamb, who stands for Christ. The marriage of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. The church is ready, the bride has come here. Blessed are those who are invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb. The marriage supper of the Lamb. Blessed are those. Well, actually for us, that supper, that feast is always going on in the dining room. but we don't we don't really see that. You see, that face is always there daily, 3 times in the day. You see, in the dining room. You see. Mother said that no, I had prepared a very elaborate, wonderful kind of a dinner for an Englishman, and then he refused to take it. He did not take it. It is there in one of her prayers, you see. He did not take the dinner, you see. She felt kind of sorry. Then she said, I offered it to the Lord. I offered it to the Lord, you see. So the dinner is ready, prepared by the goddess herself, and you are not taking that dinner, you see. It's a very poignant kind of a description in prayers and meditation. I prepared the dinner for the Englishman, but he did not take the dinner. I offered it to the Lord. This is what happened, you see. Chamber, the French word, sorry, the Greek word is thalamos. Thalamos. Thalamos, bread chamber. Thalamos. A silence falls upon the spirits high, from the veiled sanctuary got it high. So naturally he goes away then, and the bright chamber is empty. There cannot be any feast then anymore. Empty and cold is the chamber of the bride. The golden nimbus around the face of the bridegroom is seen no more, because he himself is not there, not even the nimbus then. No longer burn the white spiritual ray, and hushed forever is the secret voice, forever the secret. He came here, he spoke to people, but now his voice is silent anymore. Then, by the angel of the vigil tower, now this is the image of the New Testament or the Old Testament. Then, with the angel of the vigil tower, a name is struck from the recording book. Cancelled. You're gone. You have fallen. The angels have fallen. 7 angels had departed, had gone away farther from the divine soul. 7 angels. Their name is struck off from the heavenly list. You see. And that vigil tower, he is striking who is God and not God. Then, by the angel of the vigil tower, a name is struck from the recording book. A flame that sang in heaven sings, went and viewed. A flame that sang, I am in heaven, I am. Sing, heaven, I'm sorry, a flame that sang, I am in heaven, amphibrach. Sayings quenched, spondy, and mute I am. So the third foot is an amphibrach, short, long, short. A flame that sang in heaven. Sayings quenched, spondy, what a powerful spondy song. Sayings quenched and mute. In ruin in the epic of his soul, because his epic struck. His epic is struck completely. This is the tragedy of the inner death. When forfeited is the divine element. Now that energy is working and she is able to do this kind of a mischief, and then you succumb to this tragedy. This is the tragedy of the inner death when forfeited is the divine element, because the bright chamber is empty. He is not there. And only a mind and body live to die, and only a mind, I am Anarchist, and Ba, I am, and only a mind, second foot in Anarchist, and Ba, the life to die, and only a mind and body to live, life to die. I think we'll stop with that. Yeah. This is the tragedy of the inner death. It's a complete picture. This section really brings out that thing fully. How the separation has taken place, how the dark energy was born, the antagonist energy was born, and what kind of a horror she has created here. She, who is the kind of a counterpart of the consciousness force of the divine, she is doing that kind of work here. And only a mind, this is the tragedy of the inner death.